Total maintenance games, TMLAs, and on your cool spots. Total maintenance games, TMLAs, and on your cool spots.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralock, the Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralock's technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralock is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Mead Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Mead, INSagency.com. Dave Mead Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Mead, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 69-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. Get Audubon Gutters.
Scott Craig, Katie's Restaurant. All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of Katie. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant. Katie's in Mid-City.
Oh, yeah. You ready to do this thing on a Fantasy Friday? Let's get going, New Orleans and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on the radio, on television, on YouTube, on Twitter. Kaboom goes the dynamite. Thanks so much for joining us on a Fantasy Friday. I think I mentioned that, Drew Brees, so I definitely will mention it. There's future first ballot Hall of Famer Drew Brees. Boy, they've a lot of highlights lately of Drew Brees with the Saints. Boy, talk about spoiled. I used to tell my buddies, I'm like, forget about all the great plays and the incredible stuff. Think about the most simple, basic throw, a running back out in the flat or something like that. I don't know if you can ever bring up an example, seriously, in Drew Brees' 15 years in New Orleans where he missed that throw. Every quarterback in the NFL, I don't care what level they're at, super elite, whatever, they're going to miss that throw once a season, once every other season. Sometime, lead the running back too much, throw it over his head, throw it in the ground, throw it behind him, something. Just got a little discombobulated, didn't make that basic, easy, vanilla throw. Drew Brees made every single one. I can't think of a basic pass screw-up where, like, Brees, what were you thinking there? Drew Brees had interceptions and bad throws. We all know that. But not many, and not a lot of total screw-ups, and never any of the basics missed. Never. Some pass out in the flat, some little quick sideline out, some little dump off to the running back, hitting the inside receiver or tight end across the middle real quick. Never missed. Never. Crazy. No, great highlights on X, wherever you check out your social media, of Drew Brees because of his, being one of those NFL Hall of Fame finalists. It's like 100 and something. Then narrow it down to like 75 and 50 and 15, then get it down to the final list, which will be like 4 to maybe 8. I think 8 maximum. I think 4 was a small number last year. So somewhere between 4 and 8, Brees will be number first year. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. We got a good one lined up for you. Fridays with Fletcher Mackle, about 10 minutes away. I love Fridays. Just for the obvious reasons, it's Friday, but just sort of a drop the shoulders, decompress. Monday through Thursday, New Orleans is like a New York, Chicago, LA news town. with our ineptness, could be business savviness that's lacking, or the political fortitude for folks to be civic minded. No, there's a lot of dysfunction in New Orleans and Louisiana. It makes for a big news cycle, something you see in markets 5, 8, 10 times our size, literally. Keeps me in business, that's for sure. I've often joked with Raphael Goyeneche with the Metropolitan Crime Commission, Ed Michel, Inspector General, City of New Orleans. We will talk about something while I'm lining up to come on the show, and I'll be like, "Man, it's unbelievable," you know? And then, they'll say something, "It's crazy, can't believe this is happening," whatever, and I'm like, "Well, this dysfunction keeps us in business, gives me topics, something for you guys to investigate, stamp out corruption, that type of thing." Fridays with Fletch, yeah, so I like Fridays with Fletch because we're gonna talk a little LSU, Ole Miss, Tulane, Tulsa, both local teams on the road, as are the Saints at Buffalo. We'll find out what Fletcher Mackel thinks. Plus, New Orleans better land that 2031 Super Bowl. That's all I can say. But Fletcher and I think, disagree on some of the vanilla basics. I just think he's wrong on this. I think he's misinformed and incorrect. I told him, 32-37 apparently is out due to Mardi Gras convention concerns. And Fletcher thinks that they'll just cancel a big convention for the Super Bowl. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think these big conventions with 25,000 doctors or whatever that plan it a decade in advance, you can't cancel it because of a Super Bowl. Two things are going to happen. One, where do they go? These things are planned years, decades in advance in some cases. The convention center has conventions booked in the 2040s. In the 2040s. So do Orlando and New York and San Francisco and LA and Las Vegas. There are only so many convention cities. We're like 50th as far as population, Metro New Orleans in America. We're like 50th now. The convention center is the 5th largest. There's a reason for that. We're a convention city. We're a tourist city. 766-9480 on this Fantasy Friday. No, fired up. Fletcher Mackel's going to join it. And then Michael Hecht. We won't get too serious, but yeah, we'll talk about the 2031 Super Bowl with Michael Hecht as well. Can't move convention. The Saints in the NFL. If I'm the Saints in the NFL, I want that, information release that could be missing out on the 2031 Super Bowl to help push New Orleans and the state and the Dome and the LSED into getting this 10-year extension done. This contract to go from 2031 to 2040 when the present one runs out, the lease with the Saints and the Dome runs out in 2030. So I'm the Saints in the NFL. I use all that leverage to the hilt. Guys, you want another Super Bowl? You better get this lease done. 2031 Super Bowl, New Orleans is in our radar. If the Saints don't have a lease at the Dome past 2030, we can't even consider you. No, we'll talk with Fletcher and Michael Hecht about that, because all I got to say is I'm the NFL, I'm the Saints. I use that leverage to get the deal done. I'm the city of New Orleans. I'm the state of Louisiana. I expect the 2031 Super Bowl game. I expect the 2031 Super Bowl game because the next date available, 2038 ain't acceptable. That'd be a 14-year gap, the longest stretch between Super Bowls in New Orleans history. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. So, yeah, Fletcher Mackel in about 5, 6, 7 minutes. Michael Hecht in about 20 minutes. Scott Craig from Katie's, Francesca will join us. I love visiting with Scott because he knows food, he knows sports. He likes to place a little $10 bet here and there, keeps it under control, but he likes throwing a little money down. I mean, Scott and I have talked about this, like a $1 putt in golf. You're playing with buddies, there's $1 on the line. $1. No one thinks about it that way, like it's $1 and that's it. It could be $1, $10, $20, $50, or $100. Obviously, the larger the amount, the more nervous one gets. But $1 bet, no one playing golf just blows off, "Oh, it's just $1. I'm just going to focus on putting." They're worried about the dollar. That's the reason you have these little tiny small bets. So I remember, I'm not a gambler. I don't bet. But in college, I had a buddy who bet. It was like bowl season. I was like, "Yeah, put down $5 or $10 on these games for me." And all of a sudden, I'm watching North Dakota State, playing or somebody like that, and following the game. That quarterback's pretty good. They got a good running back. That He's pretty good. That corner's good. Like, what? How do you know about that team? Yeah, I put $10 on it. Had me focused. The whopping $10. No, so Scott will pick some games for us. Speaking of games, number 4 LSU at number 13 Ole Miss in Oxford, one of the best places to overall college football experience. No, you know, it's not a 90,000 seat stadium, but it's Vaught Hemingway is a cool stadium. The Grove is as good of a pregame situation as there is in college football. Number 4 LSU getting 1.5. Ole Miss, 13th ranked, favored by 1.5 over LSU. It's a 2:30 kickoff on ABC. Now, you know me, I'm huge on sucker bets. Like, where's the money going to go? Why is this the spread? Whatever. With LSU getting 1.5, the sucker bets LSU. But not only do I like LSU, I'm going against my own logic. And when I do that, I usually lose. I love the sucker bets. They're not in every selection. They're not there all the time. They sort of, are glaring. They rear their ugly head or a beautiful head, whatever. But I think the sucker bet would be LSU. Like Ole Miss being favored. A lot of people are going to go with LSU. You want to bet the Rebels. I think LSU is going to kind of manhandle Ole Miss. I don't think like Monty Kiffin or Lane Kiffin, I should say, was asked about his daughter dating Whit Weeks, the LSU linebacker. He's like, bet the over. Like, he's thinking the last few years. I mean, LSU scored like 51 last year and lost, whatever. So I like LSU's defense to slow down Ole Miss's very fast run offense. When you have 2 quarterbacks, Jim Finks used to say you have no quarterbacks. So I like LSU winning in double digits. Tulane's at Tulsa, we'll talk about that. Saints at Buffalo, we'll talk about that. Total maintenance. My AC went out last night. Compressor's running. It's just like 78 degrees. It wasn't coming out cold. That little filter pack you see on that, sealed copper, line clogged up. They cut it off. They resoldered or whatever, hooked a new one on, and I'm back in business. Total maintenance. I called those folks at 6 in the morning. They took care of it. They came out immediately, like 8 a.m., and got it fixed. They do the same for you. If you need AC help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com.
Scott Craig, Katie's Restaurant. All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant. Katie's in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come and give you a free estimate. NOLA, LGD.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, Home, Flood Business. 504-556-0809. Dave me at insagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are a magazine as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and Westview.
Yeah, you, right? Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back. A Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Thank goodness. Boy, got to decompress, man. Monday through Thursday, the New Orleans news cycle can beat you down. Fridays, kind of chill a little bit. Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel joins us from Channel 6 Sports. What up, Fletch?
Not a lot, Corey. What's up?
Yeah, same old stuff. A Friday. Looking forward to the weekend. What's going on in your world?
Yeah, well, today is my Saturday. I usually Kendall and Sharif have prep football. Sometimes you're right. Like, I'm one of these workaholics, and like Sunday through Thursday, Saints games, and then Monday press conferences, Tuesday press conferences, Wednesday, which I love it. I mean, it's great. I'm not complaining. I don't want to come across that way, but it's one of those things where, sometimes I go to a press conference at 10:30 a.m. and I have to work at 11 p.m. So I love talking about it, doing it, but you're right. Sometimes it's nice to have a day to just say, I need to unplug.
Hey, Fletch, I was telling the audience before you joined us, like, Fletcher and I have a little disagreement. I think he's uninformed on this particular thing. He probably thinks I am. We're talking about the 2031 Super Bowl. It's 2031 or bust, 2032 to 2037, either Mardi Gras convention. Did you say they would move a convention for the Super Bowl? I don't think they will at all. I think it's the opposite. Either way, I think, I'm the NFL, I'm the Saints. I use this leverage of the Super Bowl, and you don't have a lease sign. I'm using that. I'm the NFL, I'm the Saints. Any NFL team, any city, I'd use that if it were available to use, okay? With that said, I'm the state and the city. I get this lease sign. I'm expecting the 2031 Super Bowl, Fletcher. I'm expecting that game, and I'm not saying you don't get it, you break the lease, but if you don't get it, you're pissed off at the Saints in the NFL, and maybe you handle things a little differently in the future. I think you don't dangle that out there as like a threat if New Orleans isn't getting that. That's how I feel on that. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I agree with not the first part of what you're saying, but I agree with the aspect closing where you just went with it. Here's the thing. The one thing I have been told point blank, matter of fact, is the NFL. Well, two things. Let me start with this. The NFL loves New Orleans. Make no mistake. They love Super Bowl here. The Super Bowl we just had was not just a home run, but an out the stadium 500-foot moonshot home run.
Yep.
That was awesome. They love it. But here's the thing. I was there in Atlanta when the city of New Orleans, the state leaders, the Saints went, and it was the 300th anniversary, 2018, the huge tricentennial. We only get one of those to celebrate in our lifetime.
Yep.
And everybody was saying the fix is in for New Orleans. All that I talked to national journalists in Atlanta at the owners' meetings. Everybody said Minnesota will get it after that. The other ones can all get in line. It's a done deal for New Orleans. They're only going to get one shot at playing the 300th anniversary into the city with the Super Bowl. And guess what happened?
Minnesota.
They came to Minnesota,
Yep.
and they told New Orleans, kick rocks. Come back again in a couple of years. So I don't think the NFL likes to be told, this is our game, make it happen. And I do think state leaders are cognizant of that right now. That if the NFL could say, you're getting this deal, no doubt about it, 2031 is yours, no BS, 100%, push it over the finish line. But I don't think the NFL in good faith can tell the state, compromise on everything the Saints want, give them everything they need, because you're right. There would then create some hard feelings and animosity with a lot of city, state, and tourism leaders if they acquiesce to every single thing the Saints want. And look, right now, I think they are still very good terms. I think it's still going to get worked out. I still think the offense is going to get back to the table for 2031. But I agree with what you're saying, is that I think New Orleans is the favorite, but I don't know if the league is going to guarantee that 2031 is an absolute slam dunk for you guys. And here's the thing, and that's where getting back to the first thing of what you said, 2032 is absolutely out because Super Bowl Sunday is Bacchus Sunday. They absolutely can't do it the weekend of Big Mardi Gras.
No, and they can't do it. They can't do it the Sunday. Like they can't do it the Sunday before that big weekend. They can't. That would be like,
that's where I think there's wiggle room.
No, I'm talking.
Agree to disagree.
I mean, it's not my opinion. It's like what Cicero says, what Michael Heck says. They can't do it that weekend because there's not enough hotel rooms. They just can't do it.
You've been here long enough, and you remember this. In 2001, we suffered a tragedy in our country with the 9/11 terror attacks. The Super Bowl had to be slid 1 week because of that. And they said, if New Orleans can't do it, we got to work ASAP to move it. And New Orleans said, we got a convention that we've been waiting 10 years for. It's the biggest one. It was like some big automobile dealers convention that they go, this could affect us long term. We don't know. And at the end of the day, you know what they did? They moved the Super Bowl, they moved the convention, and they got it done.
You're talking about after the terrorist attack?
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk. But if the NFL told the city of New Orleans in 2033, the game is like, we're ready to line them up. We're going to give 29 to Nashville, 30 to Vegas, 31 to the new stadium in Denver, 32 to the new stadium coming online in Cleveland, and New Orleans 33 is yours if you tell us you can do it. In my heart, and I get it, there's people saying that's not great. If they came to New Orleans instead in the next year, 33 is yours if you want it, they're going to move heaven and earth, and they're going to move whatever convention they can. Because here's the thing. I don't want to be that guy that says no convention is bigger than the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl just generated $1 billion for the state. There isn't a convention big enough that you can't move.
Well, no, it's not about size, Fletcher. It's about commitment. I mean, these conventions come 10 years in advance, and it just depends how big it is and how. And when someone says 2032 to 2037 is out, I think those conventions, it's either some Mardi Gras, problems, and I disagree with you. I think whatever that would be, 11 days out. That's you can't have the Super Bowl there. Too much of into Mardi Gras, and I think
here's the thing. Look, and then we're talking about hypotheticals. So what if? I still think 2031 is their goal. They want 2031. They want this deal to be done. But just what you pointed out, it may not be the slam dunk that we all think it is. I think the NFL looks at New Orleans and says, yeah, you know what? Your threats of, hey, we can't do it from 32 to 37. So give us 31. I think the NFL, on the flip side of that, looks at the city of New Orleans and says, hey, if you can rearrange some things in 33, we'll give it to you.
Oh, no, I get it. I think it's not the city threatening it. It's, we're not Dallas or Houston where there's no conventions to worry about. We're 50th market with the 5th largest convention center. We're a convention center city. Hey, we're running out of time, Fletch. Only got one segment today. Number 4, LSU at number 13, Ole Miss. I love that Lane Kiffin, when asked about his daughter dating Whit Weeks, goes, bet the over. He thinks it's going to be a shootout. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I think LSU's defense is going to stifle Ole Miss's offense. Jim Fink said it best. You got 2 quarterbacks. You got no quarterbacks. They're still figuring out who they're going to start, who they're going to stick with. If that quarterback struggles, they'll immediately bring in the other one. I like LSU in this game to kind of control it and win. I think Nussmeier, this is the perfect elixir. Ole Miss's defense isn't very good this year, so I see the stars lining up for LSU. I don't think this one's going to be all that close in the second half.
Look, I agree 100% with you. I picked LSU to go to the playoffs. I think LSU's defense is really good. I think Nussmeier and the playmakers, yes, they struggle against Florida. They didn't exactly light it up against La Tech, but they are still legit. I think LSU, top to bottom, is the better team. And I think LSU, this is, like I've told you before, almost every week, if not now, then when.
Yep.
So, again, I think LSU wins this game. And the spread is like anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think LSU just flat out wins.
No, I do. I think they win by double digits, like 10 points or more. I think that's just. I think LSU's defense, like you said, is dominant. We're waiting for the offense to turn on. Ole Miss's defense can't turn on. Like Ole Miss's defense is what it is. They're limited on athletes. LSU's offense, like you said, loaded with athletes. So when will the switch turn on? I think it'll be tomorrow in Oxford. Tulane's at Tulsa. The Waves favored by 15.5 on the road. So this must not be a very good Tulsa team, coupled with the Waves ticked off with that performance in Oxford last week.
I mean, look, I think people are sleeping on Tulsa. They just beat Oklahoma State. I don't think Oklahoma State's very good, but it just got Gundy fired at Oklahoma State, losing to the little brother team in Tulsa.
Yep.
I think Tulane, though, again, I don't know if I would take the spread of that big, but I think Tulane wins this game. John Summerall's got a great team. I think they're going to be right in the playoff conversation and potentially conference champs right down to the bitter end. They beat Tulsa. I don't know if they beat them as handily as the odds makers think, though.
I kind of look for Tulane to do that. I think they're going to go to Tulsa, score on their first possession, and just sort of control the game the entire time, not be down at any point. Saints are up at Buffalo. Any chance at all to pick up a win? I mean, all I've heard is, this spread's the same as Tulane, 15.5, but it's, the Saints getting that. I've heard a bunch of gambling people think the Saints could cover that spread, but no one's picking the Saints to win that game, can they?
The Saints have no chance of winning this game. If the Saints win, it's a miracle. There's no chance. We do a segment every week with Jim Moore and James Hurst, our 2 analysts at WDSU,
yep.
And we said we're not even talking about who wins because we're all picking the Bills to win. It was, do the Saints even cover that 15.5 to 16.5 point spread? That's where we were. So, no, the Saints are not going to win. It's just, do they win? Do they lose 31-17 and cover the 15.5 or 16.5? Or does Buffalo wax them 38-14 and cover that Buffalo's winning the game?
Yeah, I think so. The problem with the Saints, obviously, Fletch, not enough talent. There's not a lot of great players. There's not a position you can point to where the Saints are solid. What position are the Saints really solid at?
No, zero. I mean, zero across the board. You don't look and say, center. Eric McCoy is a top 10 center in the league. That's it. That full stop, period. One position, center, and that's it.
Yep. No, I mean, it's and I'm thinking O-line where there's mediocre. McCoy's very good. Kamara's very good, obviously. Left tackle's good. Maybe Alontae Taylor. I mean, they got like 3 or 4 players on this team. And then it's just a bunch of, need for improvement. Fletch,
I went with great. Like, I think Kamara was great and is still really good.
Yeah.
Like, But McCoy is
Dave
a
Miet
top
Insurance
10
Agency.
player in
Auto,
the league
home,
right
flood,
now.
business.
You're right.
504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood,
Yeah.
business.
Flex, thanks, man. See you next week.
504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this walk automotive complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. And it handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't need to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Queens.
That is our slogan. More is better. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLA.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Oh, yeah, here we go. We're back in New Orleans on a Friday. Thanks for checking us out on the radio, on TV statewide. We're on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing. And for the last few weeks, we've been on Twitter, and that's growing tremendously. Thanks for following us on Twitter and checking us out on Twitter Everyday Live. I say Twitter, X, excuse me. It is a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. A little after 4:30, this next segment every single week brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant born and bred and based right here in New Orleans. About 1,400 employees in Elmwood on an over 100-acre campus, over 100 acres in Elmwood. And they've got a few hundred employees at their I-12 facility on the North Shore. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. Latrim's got you covered. For a full listing of positions available, go to latrim.com. Michael Heck joins us from Greater New Orleans Inc. on a Friday, always brought to you by Latrim. What's up, Miguel?
Not much, AJ. I find X or Twitter, whatever it is, just too difficult right now. There's just, except from your content, it's just so toxic. but I'm gonna still call it Twitter. Twitter works. I don't like saying like, "What are you doing?" I'm gonna be on X. Like it feels like I'm talking about drugs. I don't know. I guess it is a drug, but it's the black pill.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it's Gulf of Mexico. In a decade, if it's Gulf of America, I'll probably fade over to that. But right now, it's still Gulf of Mexico for me. Yeah, and I say Twitter. I say if the Niners were playing it, 3Com or Monster, whatever the hell it used to be, I'd say Candlestick still. So what do I know, Miguel?
No, I agree with that. We were having this conversation the other day about the funny thing about way that the NBA does not let a team retain its name or change its name if it moves. How does that work? Like the fact that it's the Utah Jazz, it's a misnomer. Like I don't even think that Mormons allow jazz. I think it's like caffeine and alcohol. Why can't we?
It's more egregious than the Los Angeles Lakers.
It is more because the Los Angeles Lakers is a little bit of a head scratcher, but it's not that. I don't know. But,
no, Utah Jazz is just oxymoronic.
It's oxymoronic, is right. And why can't we name our team the Tabernacle Choir Boys and then just swap with them?
We were going to go with the Spelunkers, but we just missed that one. The old cave dwellers.
Yeah, the Spelunkers. What would you call it? I wanted my two names for the basketball team were either the Crew or the Bounce. Right?
Those are both good. The Crew would be good. Bounce is good. I liked Voodoo. I know that was the Arena League team, but I kind of like Voodoo maybe. Or what was it? The New Orleans Sound or something, something to do with music, vibe, something like that. That's all good stuff. The culture. How about the culture with the CHA at the end? The culture.
The New Orleans culture. Yeah, and you know what we do? We call it the New Orleans culture, and then we call the arena the Petri dish.
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
Get into it.
Yeah, we could get
man, look, you know me, I'm an optimist. I can spin everything, pretty well. I got to tell you, man, I'm bummed about this Langenstein's news. I can't lie.
No, it's funny. I tweeted that today. A buddy of mine lives in Old Metairie. I'm like, Langies is gone. I'm like, I like Robert. I go to Robert's. I go to
Robert's.
No.
I mean, they do a great job. They're local. Nothing against Robert's or Rouse's or any of our locals, but Langenstein's was part of that culture.
No, it was. And that Arabella store was like a New York grocery store. Tiny, compact, from your toe to the ceiling, everything you need in and out in 5 minutes.
Yeah, just a bunch of old ladies with blue hair.
Yep.
And, about as old school as it comes, but friendly. They knew you, they'd give you credit, and the food was excellent. The prepared foods.
Yep. No, and they're changing the name. It'll be Robert's on Arabella, Robert's on Metairie Road, Robert's out in River Ridge. No, I got a Robert's right by my house, and I like Rouse's, but I like going to Langenstein's in Uptown especially, and I'm going to miss that place. That sucks because, like I said, there are Robert's all over. I have nothing against Robert's, but one of the great things about New Orleans, we must have 25 or 30 different grocery stores. It's great, like names.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. My buddy lives in Florida. You get Publix and Whole Foods, period. Publix and Whole Foods, or maybe Walmart. And I don't shop for groceries at Walmart. Maybe like paper towels or something, but not meat or chicken or fruit and vegetables. But anyway, we move on, Michael. Hey.
You were slipping in the old man.
Yeah, no, exactly.
When I went to school.
Why do these damned kids have their pants in between their waist and kneecaps? What's up with their boxers are showing?
I kind of agree with that, though.
Yeah, but that's that rock and roll music. Oh, mom and dad, be quiet. I don't want to become that, Michael. Got to watch becoming that.
I was watching some video last night. Don't ask me why. Of G.G. Allen. Remember him?
Who?
G.G. Allen, the world's greatest punk rocker.
I don't remember G.G. Allen. Where was I for this?
Yeah, G.G. Allen. He died on stage, or he was like a shock rocker. He would throw his own PTs at people. He was like, way before Marilyn Manson or any of that stuff.
Wow, maybe that's why I missed that show. I didn't have an umbrella or plastic sheathing to protect myself from the feces throw.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. If I want that, I go to the old zoo.
Yeah, exactly. Go to the monkey cage, exactly. Hey, Michael, I don't blame the Saints, and I think the NFL is fully involved in this. I don't blame the Saints or the NFL. If I'm the Saints or if I'm the NFL, any market, anywhere, I'm going to use that Super Bowl 2031 carrot. I'm going to dangle that. I'm going to use that for leverage. Let's get this lease done, city and state, anywhere in America. If I'm the Saints of the NFL, I'm using that. With that said, more power to them. With that said, I'm the city and the state. I'm expecting the 2031 Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's, I still think that we're going to get it. I think it's going to require, using a lot of political capital to get it now, unfortunately. But this is the nature of, it's a big boy negotiation. And it's basically a big game of chicken that's being played right now.
Yep.
So I think it'll work out. But, this is, Tom Benson, Mr. Benson is still amongst us. His spirit and his practice of his deals are still being negotiated today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not freaking out about it because it's kind of like the government shutdown, right? Like there's a certain process it has to go through, and it's going to go through it because that's the nature of everybody's incentive.
Yeah, this deal's going to get done. I'm not worried about that at all. I think it's Michael down to how much above market rate will a state pay the Saints for space in Benson Tower. That's what it boils down to.
That's right.
The Saints want the high number. The state wants a lower number over market rate. It's going to be over market rate no matter what. I think they've kind of bridged the gap, and I expect this thing to be signed soon. I just think, reportedly from 2032 to 2037, no Super Bowls available for New Orleans because of Mardi Gras, a major convention conflict. If we don't get it until 2038, that's a 14-year gap. It'd be the largest ever. I just don't see that happening with the re-love of New Orleans that the NFL owners, media, players, everybody associated with the league, feels now. They're like, we go to these generic anywhere USA cities. We don't want to go to Dallas. No one plans a vacation in Atlanta or Dallas. So they're bummed out about that. And then they go and they sit in traffic and they have to drive an hour across town every day to go to different meetings and crap. So they come to compact New Orleans. They're like, why did we ever leave this place? So in final thought, they got to award cities with new stadiums. They're going to go back to Dallas, all that. I get it. But you got to kind of bend over a little bit for New Orleans, I think.
Well, Roger Goodell called the event in New Orleans the greatest Super Bowl ever. And Goodell doesn't say things like that gratuitously. I spoke to him personally, and he said it was extraordinary. It arguably, objectively, was the greatest Super Bowl ever in terms of the overall experience and the vibe.
Yep.
The game notwithstanding. So, yeah, it doesn't. At the end of the day, the NFL is bottom line driven, and bottom line, New Orleans is fantastic as a place to have the event. So, I think we'll get back there, and I think that the commitment of the Saints to the city and the state is going to continue.
Yep, agreed.
For a long time.
Mike, I'll move on from this one quickly because I talked to you about it last week. I don't want to belabor the point. UNO says 5,500 students. A guy I know, an insider with UNO, says it's about 4,500 students. Another mayoral debate.
Right. I mean, this is the bottom now. It's time to start coming back.
Yep. Hopefully they can build it back up. I mean, and you kind of broke the news last week. They're going to change the name. The LSU president's like, how about LSU New Orleans? How about not? That's what it originally was. I'm thinking like Boston U, New Orleans University.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, the name matters a whole hell of a lot.
Yep.
Because so much of this is about brand. The only hill that I'm going to die on, because I'm going to be part of the committee, I think, is that it has to be New Orleans spelled out. No more of this, Uno
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
That was a branding disaster because it meant nothing to anybody outside of New Orleans.
We're Latinos.
So,
Yeah.
that's right. So let's just call it New Orleans, and New Orleans University. That's sick. I mean, how's that for a? I mean, the jokes write themselves, right?
Yep. No, exactly.
But it's a great name. So yeah, New Orleans University is interesting. LSU New Orleans is.
It's what it used to be when I was a kid.
It's less evocative.
No, it's LSUNO. It's LSUE, Eunice, LSUS. That's terrible. We don't want to be part of that. And I went to LSU. I'm a graduate. I love that. But UNO needs to be its own thing. And you bring a brilliant point up. New Orleans needs to be spelled out. Hey, Michael, when we come back, we'll talk about Breeze expanding dramatically in New Orleans. And also want to break down those places you rattle off one at a time. River District, Poland Avenue, Naval Station, the Charity Hospital, the Plaza Tower. Michael Heck's with us from Greater New Orleans Inc. Coming right back, New Orleans.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Lamar Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 30,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamar Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Simple artificial turf custom golf courting greens. Beautiful functions. Zero maintenance. Call New Orleans owned LGD Lawn and Landscape and get your free estimate.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yang in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yang.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Welcome back, New Orleans Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. is with us. Michael, Breeze Airways. New Orleans is like one of their hubs. I mean, I think the last time we had a hub was like Taka, you know?
Yeah, Taka. Breeze has 4. They use the term, it's not a hub, but they've got 4 basically mini hubs.
Yep.
And we are one of them, which means that we not only have the flights, but we also have 100 some odd people working on repairing the airlines, which is good jobs, really good jobs.
140 jobs at Louis Armstrong from Breeze.
Yeah. Breeze is amazing, and now they're going to Cancun.
Yep, once a week. That's a no-brainer. And they're talking about maybe Honduras and where else did they say? Maybe Dominican Republic or something?
Yeah, all those great places. And look, they fly these nice small planes. So, well, to me, Breeze is like if JetBlue and Southwest had a high-achieving first child.
That's exactly what it is. And what is it, Embraer or something, a little small plane? They're actually kind of getting rid of some of those, and they're going to be flying A220s, I think, like a small, jet from Airbus.
Yeah, I mean, but basically these jets, I think they're either 2.2s or 3.2s. I mean, they're smaller, which I've come to appreciate because it's just easier to get in and out, and as long as they're well appointed and not one of those nasty old ones you fly on like American Eagle where the bathroom doesn't work.
Yep.
They're really great to fly in. And look, who would it's nice to be able to hop on and get down to Disneyland Harris and really quickly
Yep.
down at Cancun. So I'm excited about that.
Yep. No, those Airbus 220s have first class seating too.
Yeah, they do. So they'll be one. So they've been fantastic for us. We've got to just kind of keep promoting them. I think that they're a little bit under. They're not as well known as they need to be, so we're going to look for them actually reach out to them and start promoting them better to the business community.
Michael, you rattled off like these major blighted things in Metro New Orleans. I shouldn't say Metro, in Orleans Parish a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to run through them one at a time, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
River District, the Shell building's being constructed as we speak, right?
Yeah, I mean, so that wasn't blighted. That's just been underused.
Well, the blight is the power station next door, which will eventually come into play.
Blighted. So all of that stuff is getting redone. The Shell building is getting built. I think that the power station is going to get redone as some type of marketplace. Is that, am I thinking about that?
Market it and like an entertainment venue, maybe concerts and stuff.
Yeah, which could be really fantastic out there. And yeah, that it's going to eventually be, I think, one of the nicest new neighborhoods in the country. Kind of like the wharf area, the Navy wharf area down in D.C.
Yeah,
where I stayed last week. So mixed use, a lot of new housing, affordable housing, market rate housing, restaurants. We're working on getting that the Jazz Museum put in there. So I'm thrilled about that one. I think it's a really big deal for the city.
Have you mentioned to Louis Larcella, dude, you're in your 60s. We got to get this done while we're still alive. And I'm not knocking Louis. It's the city of New Orleans. I'm not knocking Louis. It's the city of New Orleans that's hindered this. If this were Nashville or Austin, the River District would be halfway done. There'd be over $1 billion of construction completed.
Yeah, there is. It's a combination of, there's just a tradition of skepticism and pushing back, and then the lousy, slow permitting process at the city. There's just not a culture of these things moving quickly, and it's important that they do because time kills deals.
No, exactly.
Talk about that all the time, so it's really critical that people feel some urgency. The other thing that's going on that we didn't mention is the new convention center hotel is going to get built, 1,000-room Omni Hotel over there as well. Really important to our convention center. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening over there by the river, and I'm so excited that you've got the Shell building going up because that lets people understand that it's real.
All right, the River District. How about Poland Avenue, the old naval support station?
So that place is probably the most blighted. It's been, basically colonized for a long time now. And what you're going to see happening there is mixed income housing in the first 2 buildings. And then in the third one, we're bringing down a group called NOLA, who I visited up in Detroit. They're probably the best in the country. They're also in Saudi Arabia at developing these spaces where people come in to start companies. So it's office space, it's manufacturing space, it's social space, and it's basically if you're trying to start a high-tech company, but you need some shared resources, and you don't want to pay for your total whole thing, you go into a NOLA. And ours is going to focus on energy. So really excited about that. Probably nobody's more excited about the people at Bacchanal.
Yes,
who were just
exactly.
And those 4 people that live there on Poland Avenue have had to kind of look at this.
Is Jack Dempsey still there?
Yep.
The joint, all those places, the barbecue place.
Are still there. Yeah. The joint's still there. All those places, and they survived. So they're owed this.
Yeah, it's been developed years ago. I mean, it's only on the corner of the Mississippi River and the intracoastal, and the I should say that the
intercoastal water,
industrial waterway, whatever.
Yeah, it's great, and we're going to all be pulling City Park all the way down to the industrial canal and then hooking around. There's going to be more public space as well.
Yeah, like 4 miles of linear riverfront park, 4 miles, redoing the Governor Nichols and Esplanade Wharf, a park. It's going on as we speak. That's phenomenal. That's another good one. So River District, Poland Avenue, the Crescent Park. How about Charity Hospital?
Charity, I think we've got it straight. I mean, there's a long way to go, but Tulane's been working with the city, working with the state. I think there's a general agreement that project is a go, and that's maybe the most transformative because that's the urban core, and it's an area that historically, to me, it hasn't been light as much as like an urban blind spot. Like you didn't even know it's there.
No, exactly. And the old hospital's right behind it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can be redeveloped. Hey, Michael, we got about 15 seconds. Plaza Tower. What a way to end the segment this week.
Yeah, and man, that was the one that I had lost hope for, but it's going to be redeveloped as over 300 units of affordable senior housing. What a blessing for the city, and what a blessing for our seniors who need housing.
Yeah. Michael Heck, Greater New Orleans Inc. Always a pleasure, brother. See you next week.
Yeah, brothers all mine. Have a great weekend.
Yep. Have a good weekend. That's Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. That segment's always brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant that's looking to hire you at Latrim.com. Full listing of positions available. Latrim.com. 5 o'clock powwow and next. Don't move.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4
Blue.
and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Good.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralock, the Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralock's technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralock's is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
$4.50, number one seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. Because the Lamar team is the real. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no bugs, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLA, LGD.com.
In New Orleans, we don't need to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Oh, you're gonna love it. A little bit after 5 o'clock, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. The weekend's upon us, and it's New Orleans, the weekend city. We may need a little help Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, but 5 o'clock Friday, 8:59 Monday morning. We're golden down here. We know how to party. That says it all, Drew Brees. We know how to do festivals and parties and good time, food and music. We, down here, we don't eat to live. We live to eat. Lunch is important. Dinner is important. Now, every Thursday I get Bradley Steller on from Stacked Coaching, the gym. StackedCoaching.com. Go check out the website. Change your life. Some of these guys in that gym and some of the women in the gym are just ripped. And they're ridiculously fit. They've got great cardio. And I asked them, like, how'd you get that fit? How'd you get so lean? How'd you get rid of all the fat, all that? They worked out, at a tenaciously high level. But then, turkey bolognese all week, or salmon every day with brown rice, chicken breast every day with brown rice. I'm like, I'm a New Orleanian. I can't do that. Because I'm working out more, I'm already watching my diet. I don't eat as much fried stuff, and I don't eat stuff with heavy sauces. I had a little fettuccine Alfredo at lunch today. I said, can I get half a portion? They kind of ignored me and brought me the full portion. I spun my fork with a spoon in about 2 little twirls, and that's it. I ate 2 forkfuls of fettuccine Alfredo. I'm not going to knock back 10 or 20 bites of that, a big bowl of that. I just don't do that anymore. The heavy stuff I kind of avoid, but I still like going to Domalice's and getting a shrimp po' boy every now and then and stuff like that. So it's a balance. So it's not a sacrifice, because when you're working out, you don't want to spoil it and eat a bunch of crap. So you kind of watch what you eat, but I'm not eating turkey bolognese every day. for lunch or dinner, and I'm not eating, a chicken breast or salmon with brown rice every day. Not gonna do it. But that's probably what it takes. Bradley says it best. Nutrition is for weight loss. Fitness is for wellness. You can't outwork a bad diet. He's right. Anyway, it is Friday. Yeah, you're right. It is a little after 5 o'clock. Fantasy Friday. I love this very moment. We like putting the spotlight on right now. We do it every week. Ding, ding, ding. Toot, toot, toot. We blow that 5 o'clock whistle on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program because I like this time. Like, we kind of neglect it. Weekends here, we kind of move on, and in 5 minutes, it'll be Monday morning. You know how the weekend goes fast, fast, fast. It'll literally be Monday before you know it. In like 10, 12, 15 minutes, it'll be Monday. So I like smelling the roses. The 5 o'clock whistle, a little after 5 o'clock on a Friday, where 100% of the work week in the books for most of us, 100% of the weekend, all of it's in front of us right now. I like celebrating that with the 5 o'clock whistle, appropriately brought to you by Katie's. That's as New Orleans as it gets. The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant, an expansive menu with lots of great seafood, all kind of goodies, lots of great New Orleans stuff. New Orleans specialties, old school. But Scott Craig will have a bunch of seafood specials. Goes to a seafood purveyor. He doesn't tell them how it is. They tell him how it is. Scott, this is what we have. Caught today. It's fresh as can be. I want all of it. All right, you got 14 flounder fillets. You got 17 pompano fillets. Who has pompano? Katie's does, usually in Mid-City. 5 o'clock whistle on a Friday, appropriately brought to you by Katie's. That mayoral debate last night on Fox 8, kind of like the one earlier this week on Channel 6, the one last week on Channel 4. Nothing earth-shattering. Nothing that moved the needle. I don't see Elena Moreno losing votes, and I don't see Oliver Thomas or Royce Duplessis gaining a lot. Now, there's still like 12 to 15% undecided. Those people have to go somewhere. If Helena Moreno just gets a third of it, not like what she's doing right now, she's beating Oliver Thomas 3-1. She's beating Royce Duplessis 5-1 in polls. I'm not talking about continuing that. Split the remaining undecided vote, a third each. A third goes to Oliver Thomas, a third goes to Royce Duplessis, a third goes to Helena Moreno. She wins in the primary. She'll cross over 50%. Right now, Oliver Thomas and Royce Duplessis, if it's not their main goal, they're making a mistake. But their main goal should be ensuring that Helena Moreno does not does not win in this primary, that there has to be a runoff. 49.9% or less, there'll be a runoff. 50% or more, 50.01% or more, Helena Moreno is the next mayor. The election 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow, 15 days out, New Orleans might have a new mayor. At the very least, there'll be two people vying for it in a November 15th runoff election. And come January, Junket Cantrell will be gone, and New Orleans will have a new mayor. And I think it's going to be Helena Moreno. She's the prohibitive favorite. Like I said, she might win in the primary. If it's Royce Duplessis or Oliver Thomas, it could be a cinder block, a bag of garbage on the side of the street we could elect as mayor. And by default, not doing anything, it would be an improvement over Junket Cantrell. But because she didn't do anything except arguably move the city backwards. Because if you're moving forward and you're not competing with these, other cities, then you're going backwards. And with Junket Cantrell, I didn't see anything that thought we were moving forward. The opposite. Total stagnation, if not going backwards. So she'll be gone in January. That's a blessing. Thank you, Lord. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. I'm fired up about this. LGD Lawn and Landscapes. They're not only putting a putting green in my backyard, they're turfing the entire backyard. It'll be a putting green, and I can chip up on that putting green anywhere in my backyard. I'm fired up about, you know, besides like maintenance free, it's going to improve my golf game. Seriously, my short game, my putting's going to improve big time. That's probably going to lower my handicap like 5 strokes or so, maybe more. Now, some of you folks don't play golf. You just want that synthetic artificial turf in your backyard. When it rains, there are no puddles, nobody tracking in dirt or water or grass. Zero maintenance. They use Sin Lawn at LGD Lawn and Landscapes, the best artificial turf, the best synthetic turf in the industry. Same as what Tiger Woods' TGL Golf Tour uses. Sin Lawn. Sin Lawn, your backyard. Take it up to another level with a putting green, even chipping area. Synthetic turf installations. LGD Lawn and Landscapes. To get an absolutely free estimate on installation of artificial turf, synthetic turf in your backyard, go to NOLA.LGD.com. Go check out the website and look at the, all the jobs they've done in the metro area, all the installations from Uptown to Old Metairie to the North Shore, New Orleans East, Gentilly, all over, East Bank, West Bank, NOLA.LGD.com. These are the pros. You want artificial turf or synthetic turf in your yard? NOLA.LGD.com. I'm fired up. Are you kidding me? Don't have to pay my guys. My lawn care is going to go down in price because they don't have to cut my backyard. It's maintenance free. Totally can still go do his business back there. You just hose it off. It's fantastic. Have friends over, little chipping and putting. Now I'm going to call the Tulane golf team and say, you guys ever need a practice facility for chipping and putting? And you don't want to leave, go far from Uptown? Just head on over to like the Riverbend Carrollton section of Uptown. You can use my backyard and chip and putt anytime you like. Tulane men and women's golf team. Fired up about that. Hey, fired up about tomorrow. Number 4 LSU at number 13 Ole Miss. That's a 2:30 kickoff, nationwide TV on ABC. 30 minutes after that kickoff, Tulane at Tulsa on ESPNU. I'm going to be doing that last channel gimmick again. And then on Sunday, the Saints at Buffalo, 12 noon on CBS. Yeah, the 2 college teams locally, Tulane and LSU and Baton Rouge, and the Saints. All 3 of our teams are on the road. On the road. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed Fletcher Mackel. We broke down those games. Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. also joined us. Coming up next, chopping it up with another yacht like Fletcher and I doing it. Scott Craig from Katie's and Francesca is going to join us. Scott loves sports, and Scott likes placing little mini bets, like little $10, $15, $20 bets on games. He'll pick a few of these games. LSU, Tulane, Saints. Scott Craig from Katie's and Francesca joins us next. Boy, yesterday I met my buddy Greg at Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville for lunch. Had that $24 3-course lunch special. Started with the salad. I got the shish kebab sizzling in butter. And then you get that ooey gooey dessert, a hot brownie or piece of cake with some vanilla ice cream and syrup on top. Fantastic. $24. We split the crab meat St. Francis appetizer because you can't go to Gallagher's 527 and not get that. Absolutely outstanding. Get there tonight for dinner or tomorrow night for dinner. Gallagher's 527.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and
Taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road are. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton and Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate. Trey Young in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Young.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralock, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralock's technology are transforming movement and manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig, Katie's Restaurant.
All of my fresh. Nothing comes out of the cave. Nothing. All of our is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood.
Katie's in
Yeah, speaking of Katie's, there's Scott Craig from Katie's and Francesca Deli. What up, Scott?
What's up, Brian?
Yeah, SOS, same old stuff. How about with you?
Same old stuff, just trying to make a living.
Well, it's a little different with you. I was saying earlier, Katie's has a ridiculous menu, and also Scott has a bunch of seafood specials every single night. And I was like, Scott doesn't get to dictate that part of the menu. His seafood purveyor does. Hey, Scott, I got fresh this, I got fresh that. You scoop it all up and make it a special.
Well, I got 5 dozen Whaler soft shell crabs.
Wow.
This afternoon, if you look on our website, on our social media, you'll see them live. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful, but I've got enough for the weekend.
60.
Hopefully we'll sell them all this weekend, but they are, I've had them all week. And literally, tonight we're doing them over a bowl of oyster artichoke soup.
Wow.
So they come out like the way we fry them. You never fry a soft shell crab in a basket. You have to fry it and lay it in the fryer outside of the baskets. And you lay it in upside down so that the claws and the legs immediately sprawl as soon as they hit the grease. They fry right away. And it's really, really cool to watch. And we put that on the plate, and it looks like a spider. It's incredible. You got to come see it to believe it. You got to come see it to believe it. We'll have them tonight.
You have them tonight, you have them tomorrow, you might have them for brunch on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll have them. And what I'm trying to do is buy a lot of them so that we'll still have them in the winter. We should still have some soft shell crabs. Well, obviously we'll have to freeze them. And we're very particular in the way we freeze them. We freeze them in a little bit of water so that when you open them up to cook them, to thaw them, the legs and claws don't fall off. Because if you freeze them the wrong way, that's why you'll see sometimes you get a crab that doesn't have a claw or something like that.
Yeah. I got a lot of buddies that they'll catch all their fish, clean them, and then put them in Ziploc bags and fill the Ziploc with water. And
freeze them so that they're fresh frozen.
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally still fresh frozen.
Yep.
And it's just a technique that has to be used.
But right now and tonight, like you said, the website's got video of these crabs literally moving in the box. So fresh soft shell crabs tonight at Katie's, fresh soft shell crabs tomorrow night at Katie's, soft shell crabs for Sunday brunch at Katie's.
Right. And Sunday brunch on Saturdays too. I mean, we're doing brunch on Saturday too. I forgot to tell you that. We are doing brunch on Saturday too. It's going pretty well.
Nice. That's good to know.
Things are so slow right now, so you can come right in, man. It's easy peasy.
That's September everywhere, Scott. I mean, very few places don't get affected by September, right?
No, September's. Honestly, Corey, we worked so hard at it over the summer, keeping labor down, watching costs, making sure one company wasn't overcharging us. We're trying to get the best prices possible. And honestly, pal, when I'm rolling and we're doing really well, I don't want to squeeze the salesman. I'm not that guy. I want everybody to do well. But when it's slow like this, you've got to squeeze everybody. And, we did okay this summer, way better than we did last summer. But the end of August and September hit, and it's just like, where is everybody?
Yep.
We're closing at 7:30. We close 7:30 Monday night because it's just we're wasting money to be there waiting for anybody to come in.
I'm telling you, honestly, I think like the only restaurants I can think of that are like not affected by this are like Houston's on St. Charles Avenue, Lillette on Magazine, and Clancy's in Uptown. I don't know of any other restaurants that just nothing seems to affect them. They have this, Clancy's in Uptown. They have that Uptown base. They love it. They're going. They pack it. It's noisy. They love it. I love Clancy. Lillette, same thing.
We also don't have 200 seats.
No, exactly. Of course. No, exactly. And neither does Lillette. Lillette's got 50 seats,
Okay, but you see, but the deal is you walk in there and they're full, but there's not that many people in there.
Exactly. You're right.
Like Lillette during high season, I mean, people are waiting.
No. Your Katie's downstairs has more seating than either Clancy's or Lillette in the entire restaurant.
So along with that seating comes overhead.
Yep.
And overhead is the killer. And right now it's just really, really hard. We're doing business. I mean,
no, of course. It's just slow September.
We were like that pre-pandemic. Before this pandemic, we were like that. It was almost like we were recession-proof. And it's just gotten so difficult now. And there's more and more restaurants opening up. People are trying new restaurants. And God bless everybody, man. I want everybody to do good.
Yep.
But somewhere there needs to be it's just, where's the common sense?
No, exactly.
But,
Scott Craig's with us from Katie's in Mid-City. Get there tonight, Katie's in Mid-City. Hey, Scott, what you got? Yeah, fill us in on all the specials at Katie's.
We've got pecan crusted trout with a Dijon cream Cajun potatoes. Absolutely delicious with Brussels sprouts.
Wow.
Stuffed red fish. Stuffed fresh red fish with veggies and seafood cream. The oyster artichoke soup with the jumbo soft shell crab. Or if you just want to get a jumbo crab over fries or something, we can do that. We're doing our lamb chops with chimichurri, seafood stuffed shrimp over penne pasta, crab cake fried sliders. We did those today, and I'm telling you, we sold 1 million of them. Smothered pork chops that we did today. Oh, Joey put his foot in this, man. They were so good.
And but we won't have that for dinner. We'll probably have it tomorrow. And we're also doing a fried bang bang shrimp appetizer this weekend. But like I said, I've got beautiful soft shell crabs, and our red fish is always popular. You know, we did some pompano this past week that did really well, and I ran out. So I don't know, got a great menu, and then we've got a giant menu to begin with, award-winning pizza, and you know, the gumbo is cooked by me this week because I wasn't happy with it last weekend, so I went in and I met one of my cooks that does the gumbo on Monday morning, and I saw what she was doing wrong, and we fixed it, and you know, it was just real basic stuff, but it changes things. It's all about the roux, man.
Yep.
It's all about how you cook the roux and when you put it in.
Yep, no, it's so true. The timing is key, no doubt. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's. Scott, if you put some jumbo lump crab meat on that soft shell crab, you'll have not one but two Warren LaRuth dishes. You already got the oyster and artichoke soup. That's a Warren LaRuth invention. Right. And then he created the jumbo lump crab meat on top of a soft shell crab. No one thought to do that. He did. So those
with just a little butter, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of butter.
Yep.
Yeah, right. It was great.
Yep.
It was great.
No, real simple, real basic, like a light beignet, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Scott, what high school?
I'll make that for you.
What's that?
I'll make that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, the double dip, the Warren LaRuth ×2. Not only oyster and artichoke soup, but jumbo lump crab meat on top of a fried soft shell crab. Hey, what high school team's out at Francesca in Lakeview?
Holy Cross.
Holy smokes.
The head coach will be here with Les East and Jude Young. And come on out, man. Moms, dads, Holy Cross supporters, come on out.
That is a, you know, no offense to brother Martin or De La Salle, Scott, but Holy Cross has a junior college campus over there on Paris Avenue.
It's really, really nice.
Isn't it nice?
They've done a wonderful job, and they've got a heck of a football team. Brother Martin and Jesuit are playing tonight.
That was a smart move. You know, Loyola, Holy Cross, when they decided to move, it was either Loyola Avenue out in Kenner or on Paris Avenue. Look how beautiful the Paris Avenue campus is, and look how much room they have to expand it. And that basketball arena, it's an arena. That's like a junior college facility.
It reminds me of Notre Dame Convocation Center.
It's unbelievable,
It really
man.
does.
It's like a $30 million building.
Small one, yeah, but it's nice.
Yeah, no, it's a plush campus. They should bring a big crowd tonight to Francesca.
I hope so. Because we need them.
Seafood night.
That's what we're playing tonight. I think that's probably the Crescent City Sports game of the week. It might be on YouTube.
Wow.
I would think it would be. That's a big game.
Head to Francesca, you Holy Cross folks. It's going to be all Holy Cross at Francesca Deli tonight over there in Lakeview, Harrison Avenue, in between Canal Boulevard and West End. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca Deli. Scott, it doesn't get too much better than this. Number 4 LSU at number 13 Ole Miss. When Lane Kiffin was asked about Whit Weeks dating his daughter, he made a joke. It was like, bet the over. And I thought it was funny, but it also is sort of a Freudian slip. I think Lane Kiffin thinks this is going to be like last year. I think LSU scored, 51 and lost? So I disagree with that. I think Ole Miss's offense, Jim Fink said it best. You got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. So I think their offense is questionable. Their defense most definitely is questionable. LSU's defense is a powerhouse, and the offense, unlike Ole Miss's defense, that can't turn on a switch and get better. They are what they are. LSU's offense, we're waiting for the switch to be turned on against this kind of mediocre Ole Miss defense. This is the perfect weekend. I think Ole Miss is going to have trouble scoring, even though it's Lane Kiffin and that quick strike offense, no huddle, all that. And I think LSU's offense is going to get in gear. I think the sucker bet could be LSU. Ole Miss is favored. Vegas likes Ole Miss. But I think LSU is going to win by double digits, Scott.
Kate Durham's out. He's got that ankle sprain. I really like Ole Miss. I hate to say that. I'm happy to lose the money. If the Tigers win, I'll be happy. But I just have not seen enough from the Tiger offense and now Chester's out for the first half, and he's their kind of jack of all trades offensive lineman, and he got called for a ridiculous targeting penalty. They've got to do something about this targeting penalty. If it's malicious, yes, then suspend the kid for the game and the next half or whatever. But Chester hadn't tackled anybody in 10 years. He's an
There's a
offensive
Middle
line.
Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road.
No.
Cafe. Convenient.
No. Hold that thought. We'll come right back and discuss that. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca Deli. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLA, LGD.com. Trey in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey in.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City. Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel lines, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Yeah, you're right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Scott Craig joins us. He makes some selections. Scott's likes, a little $10, $20 bet on games just to keep them more interesting. So he likes to play a little bit. So he'll give you his selection, Scott. I said it. LSU is the sucker bet. Ole Miss is favored by 1.5. I think a lot of people are like, they're going to pound LSU. So I'm in agreement that picking LSU is the sucker bet. Ole Miss is the gambler's choice, I guess. But I just, breaking down the game, Lane Kiffin, I think, thinks this is going to be a shootout, and I don't think it is. I'll tell you, want to know a sucker bet in this game? The over is the sucker bet. It's 55, 56. The over, everybody's going to pound the over. They think it's going to be a shootout. I don't know if Ole Miss gets in the 20s. I think Ole Miss is going to be stuck in the teens. LSU will get in the high 20s, low 30s. They're going to win this game by double digits. But I'm going against the sucker bet, and I usually screw up when I do that.
Yeah, I'm going with Ole Miss. but I've got a couple of other ones this weekend that I think are really good.
You like the under? You like the under real quick in LSU Ole Miss?
Yeah, I go with the under there. I might bet that.
Yep. No, I think the sucker bet's the over.
I
Go
like
ahead.
Syracuse +5.
Who is Syracuse playing?
Who are they playing? I don't know. I haven't +5.
Wow. You don't even care who the opponent is.
Tulsa playing Tulane +14. I took Tulsa.
Yeah, Tulane's favored. Yeah, anywhere from like 14 to 16. I've seen it at 15.5.
Is it really? I gotta check that. But
Tulsa just beat AP State, but you know Vegas knows something. Tulsa's 2-2. They're not that good.
I don't. But they're at home. They're flying high. Tulane, I think they've only covered once this year. It's up to 15. You're right. It's up to 15.
Wow.
But Tulane's had trouble covering this year. So, I won some money betting against Tulane, betting against the spread. But, I definitely think they're going to win, and I sure hope they win.
But Tulsa stays within 15. Yeah. Do you think Tulsa stays within 2 touchdowns?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Tulane wins out there in the playoffs, Scott.
Right. Illinois is playing USC. They're getting 7 points at home. USC traveling cross country doesn't normally do very well. So I'm thinking Illinois. Illinois got a good team. They just got hammered last week.
Yep.
Indiana crushed them last week. And Syracuse is getting 5 at home against Duke. They just beat Clemson.
Yep.
Which Clemson's not doing well, but Clemson's got a lot of returning starters. And I just like those plays. I've got a few others that I'm going with this weekend. I have a service that's going to call me too.
Oh boy.
But I've got Rice +14. They are playing Navy. And they're at home getting 14. I like that. I've got Mississippi for LSU -1.5. I've got Georgia -3 at home against Bama. Everybody's picking Bama. And I just don't think they're that good.
Georgia is only favored by 3 at home against Alabama.
And that seems like a sucker bet.
No, the sucker bet is Alabama. Excuse me, the sucker bet's Georgia. The sucker bet's Georgia.
Are definitely betting Bama from what I hear.
On a neutral field, they're saying those teams are equal. I mean, Georgia's better than Alabama. So I think conventional wisdom's bet.
Lose at home.
Exactly. It's the conventional wisdom's bet on Georgia. So I think that's the sucker bet. I think Alabama only getting 3 points at Georgia. They like the Tide. Vegas likes the Tide.
Yeah, they do. And I see Georgia winning by a touchdown.
No, on paper, I think so too.
3. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have laid 3.5.
I see that on paper too, but Georgia would be, quote, the sucker bet. Alabama would be the pick.
Man, it's a gorgeous night. Outside on the patio at Katie's, I'm telling you, or even at Francesco on the little patio in the front, right on Harrison Avenue.
Yep.
It's really, really neat. We've got it landscaped beautifully. But, Katie's got #1 neighborhood restaurant in the But what I didn't know is that they had a ballot for best outside dining. And so we didn't get on that ballot. So I really think we've got the best outside dining in the city. Now, N7 won it. Now, N7's got one beautiful patio. It really is.
Most of the restaurant is the patio. 80%. It's very small inside.
Yeah, but it's really neat. It is. I can't argue with that. But our patio is absolutely beautiful. We are, next week, adding 2 86-inch TVs.
Wow.
My dear friend Sam Denise, he's got a big company in Las Vegas, and he's a close friend. not only did he make us a new sign at Katie's, a new beautiful lit up sign, but he just sent me 4 86-inch TVs that his company had that were extra.
Wow.
And I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. I'm going to put one in the dining room. And so, I mean, we're going to be a heck of a place to come watch ball games, especially when the weather's beautiful. Come watch the Saints lose. Come watch the Tigers play. Come watch Tulane out on the patio. We've got a beautiful bar out there now. We're going to be shucking raw oysters out there. It's really, really neat. You got to come by and see the patio. It's really, really cool.
Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca. Scott, the Saints are 15.5-point underdogs, biggest spread in a long time at Buffalo. Any chance of them winning this game? What's that? I have it at 15.5. What, it was at 16?
It was at 16.5 when it came out, and now it's 15.5.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo. You know, I thought it would go to 17. I'm going to go ahead and make that play right now, buddy.
Saints?
I don't think the Saints can come within 15 points.
I think Buffalo's the sucker bet. I think the Saints are the pick.
Well, I cannot agree. We'll talk about that one next week.
Yeah, we will. We will. I think the sucker bet's LSU, but I like LSU. I think the sucker bet is the over with LSU and Ole Miss. The better bet is the under. Tulane at Tulsa. I kind of like Tulane, but, I don't know which one would be considered the sucker bet. But I think the sucker bet's Buffalo. I think the Saints, hanging in it is sort of unconventional. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, obviously.
Corey, were you and I watching the same team last weekend?
No, I mean, I think the Vegas guys are thinking week 1 and 2 and week 3 and combining it. Week 1 and 2, the Saints hung in there and almost won those 2 games. Last week, it was over with in the first quarter. I think they're kind of combining the 2.
I don't know, man. That was such an embarrassment, Corey.
No, I don't think the Saints were as good as week 1 and 2, that close to those 2 teams. And I don't think they were as bad as last week. I don't think last week's going to happen every week. Scott, I said this before the season started. I picked them to win 4 games. I said, so they're going to win 4. And there's about, 14 games left or so, 13 games left. They're going to, 4 or 5 games, they're going to lose close, like week 1 and 2. 4 or 5 games, they're going to lose by double digits, 10 points. And 4 or 5 games, they're going to be ripped. The game will be over before halftime. So that's what I still believe. I think 4 wins, and I think 3 different ways of losing: close, not so close, and getting ripped. And you can split it a third of the way. The problem with the Saints, it's very hard to come up with a single position where they're solid. Forget about really good or excellent. There's nowhere on the field they're that way. But it's hard to come up with a single position. O-line, D-line, linebacker, DBs. You can split them quarterback and safety, running back, wide receiver, special teams. There's not a single position on the Saints where they're solid, where you can be like, they're solid at that position. Am I wrong?
There is not one. Well, McCoy at center.
But that's offensive line. I think McCoy and the left tackle are very good. But
you're talking about, I think there's 3 offensive linemen that could play on any team.
McCoy, the left tackle, and the rookie right tackle.
McCoy, Bulaga, and Banks. There's a couple. I'm telling you, man, the mistakes that this team has made are unforgivable. And the Saints fans really deserve that.
Yep.
And, Sean Payton started off. He was out of here, 79. He wanted out of here. And then they had a good draft. And so he kind of, His girlfriend didn't like it here. He was checked out years ago.
Arguably, you could say that. And Jeff,
Drew Brees, and instead of drafting a quarterback in the first round, they traded up, drafting worthless defensive linemen, never get on the field. Just the worst drafting teams 2018.
No, in the NFL. No, if you're drafting that poorly,
because I think you have one All-Pro, and it's just so checked out.
And the All-Pro, they released him.
Before DA took over, it was already a sinking ship, and now we've got a front office that doesn't know how to draft. Sean Payton is making those drafts, and now Sean Payton's talking him into taking his ass off, and he's giving up draft picks. I mean, it's just like it's an embarrassment.
No, the New Orleans Saints organization, they said it all. Worst draft since 2018. You can't win that way. And when they went 3 years, 7 and 9 in a row, they had the same problem. I remember the New England Patriots. Every draft, they averaged 4 players making the team. The Saints averaged 1 making the team over time. So you can't win like that. Scott, hold that thought. We're going to come right back. Final break of the 5 o'clock powwow. We're visiting with Scott Craig, Corey Johnson with you. Don't move.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Trey Yan in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yan. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Yeah, right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Friday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. LSU at Ole Miss, 2:30 kickoff on ABC. Tulane's at Tulsa, 3 o'clock kickoff tomorrow on ESPNU. And the Saints at Buffalo, noon kickoff Sunday on CBS. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca Deli. Get out to Francesca Deli. It's Holy Cross night. Get out to Katie's. The patio, all those New Orleans specialties. Where were we, Scott? I had to cut you off with that break.
Where were we?
You were complaining about something. I forgot.
I was whining about the Saints, probably.
Yep. No, I mean, Sean Payton, the way he left, I didn't like it, especially just like I'm burned out and then literally walking out the door. I'm ready to coach again. And then leaving the cupboard bare, just like never, ever developing a quarterback. And like, I understand you have Drew Brees, but, and I understood you liked Mahomes, but that didn't happen. So forget about all that. Sean Payton essentially was the coach of the Saints for 15 years. There's not a single quarterback that he developed that's playing for another team in the NFL. There might be like one or two minor backup types. I don't even know if they're still in the league. So that's what, this offensive genius, quarterback savant type thing. I agree with a lot of that. But Drew Brees, with Peyton is almost like Brady with Belichick. These guys are great coaches. They're both Hall of Fame coaches, but how well would they have done without these Hall of Fame first ballot quarterbacks? Brady's the greatest player ever. Brees is top 10 ever. So it's amazing that Peyton never developed a single quarterback outside of that. But he's doing it in Denver with Bo Nix, but they're struggling. They're 1-2. Lucky the Monday night game with Cincinnati doesn't have Joe Burrow. They could be staring at 1-3.
Yeah. But that's what he could have done here. He could have drafted a quarterback to take Drew Brees' place, to learn under Drew Brees. Should have done that in like 19 or 20. Draft a quarterback, but he didn't care enough. That's my opinion.
No, I think that's right. I think, like you said, he was kind of checked out. I think you're right about the wife in West Virginia. Didn't click. He lived on Britannia, uptown, right off Britannia on Jefferson Avenue. I don't think uptown, women are. First off, they're not concerned. This woman's from West Virginia, and let's be nice to help her fit in. And I don't think they're being mean to her. I just think it's a different environment for, Skylene to deal with. So I don't think
Skylene the dancer.
Yeah, I just don't think it clicked for her in New Orleans, and I think that was like the beginning of the end for Peyton here. I think that, and I'm sure they love Denver. I'm sure she loves it because Denver's anywhere USA. New Orleans is an acquired taste. I get why people come here and maybe don't like it, and I'm not complaining, but the people that come here and like it, I love them because we're unique. It's embracing the culture. Denver's anywhere USA,
It is. And, he can get his free pot there, whatever he wants to do. I just don't like the way he left.
Yeah.
I mean, it was classless. And, he left this franchise with a bag of rocks.
No, he did. He did.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Well,
he was listening to Sean Payton.
No,
listening to Sean Payton.
I think that's a fact.
Probably drafting for him.
No, all of that. Mickey Loomis will, if you really sat with him, he's not a X and O guy. For sure, he's not a talent evaluator. For sure. What I respect about Mickey Loomis, he's always known that and never has tried to talk about DBs or this player or that player. He kind of knows his place, I guess you'd argue. But yeah, anyone that thinks Sean Payton wasn't the head coach, general manager, president of the football operations, had full control, you weren't paying attention. It was Sean Payton's team, and it is disappointing. He left he didn't leave with, hey, I'm leaving a winning franchise. It continues if you handle it right. The opposite. He sort of left with the cupboard bare, no doubt.
He left us with a bag of rocks.
Yep. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning's been with us since 1940, a New Orleans institution. Tired of your dry cleaner? Warno experience the best? YoungsDryCleaning.com. YoungsDryCleaning.com. Real quickly, Scott, you like Ole Miss with the favored by 1.5, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I like LSU.
Ole Miss has got. First of all, there's a the way they lost last year, and there's a what do you call it? Revenge factor that I think is going to come into play, and he wants to win this game bad because LSU basically put him out of the playoffs last year. I mean,
I just think they got a mediocre defense.
They were double-digit favorites and lost those 2 games, but
Scott, I agree with you as far as like I'm going against sucker bet philosophy. I think the sucker bet is LSU, but I just think LSU's defense is too strong. LSU's offense is the perfect opportunity with a mediocre Ole Miss defense to turn it on in its SEC play. So I like LSU winning by double digits. Tulane at Tulsa. Right. I know you do. Tulane at Tulsa. The Wave is favored by like 15.5 over Tulsa on the road.
Well, it seems like a lot of people are betting Tulane. So I don't know. Usually when that happens, it goes the other way.
No, you're right.
Tulane hasn't been covering this year, man. They just have not been covering. I think they covered against Northwestern to start the season, but the following 2 games.
Yep, no, the teams came back.
Covering against South Al.
Yep.
They were 13-point favorites in South Alabama.
Yep.
Hung on to win by 2.
Yep. And then Duke made it close at the end. They had Duke covered, and then Duke made it close.
They had Duke covered, and
Duke scored.
Let Duke come back.
Yep.
But I think they covered against Duke. Did they cover?
No, they didn't. They didn't.
I think it was 6.
Hey, real quick, Saints at Buffalo, Scott, before we run out of time. Saints at Buffalo. Saints at Buffalo.
Oh, 35-10.
So,
least.
So you don't think the Saints are
really good?
Yeah, they're going to win by more than 15.5 or 16. You're saying?
I do. I think they're going to win more than 15. Yeah.
Scott, always a pleasure, brother. Soft shell crabs at Katie's all weekend long. Fresh soft shell crabs. Go to their website. Go online, social media. You'll see the soft shell crab video. They're moving. They're alive at Katie's. And it's Holy Cross night at Francesca Deli. Scott, always a pleasure, man. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Corey.
See you next week. That's Scott Craig of Katie's and Francesca. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm, saying have a great weekend. Go Tigers, roll Wave, go Saints. See you Monday.
On the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.
Good boy.